What up guys, this is Mo here, and today we'll be going through an aspect of Phantasya that we haven't gone through but probably should have so far. This time we're going to be creating our project from the ground up. Not like the last 5 episodes in which we operated on an existing project to show aspects of the program. This time I'm going to show you how you can create your project right from the bottom up and use some commands on it that can help you along the way. So first of all, we click the file and new project to obviously create a new project. We'll go to our selected destination for it, which is my folder for Phantasya projects, and create a new folder called tutorial demo. Now this part is important, so this right here you need to name your project for future use. Once you export the project, when you're done and start publishing it, this is the name the executable will be named after, so make sure you put this in the right name that you want for it. Once you're done, click OK. Now the program will restart itself, so we click the open project like always and go to our GPJ file that stores the project information. Once we open a new project, the program will prompt us to create a new map for it. So we'll do this here, give it a name and click OK. Once you access a new map that doesn't have any graphics or anything, it gives you an empty map with a 1/1 tile size and no starting position. In order to actually play your game, you need to meet a few minimal requirements that include having at least one playable map with a map graphic and collision map, as well as having an heroes graphic to work with. So let's do this right now. First we'll load a map graphic. I have prepared one right here. That's basically a room, 2 corridors and a back room and sorts. We'll use this in conjunction with this collision map right here. Like I mentioned in the last episode, a collision map needs to be exact to the regular map and graphics, so you see that it matches. Now, like I also mentioned, any part painted with solid black, which is 0 red, 0 green and 0 blue RGB values, is set to passable. Any other color is set to solid and you can't pass through it. Collision is detected when you touch it in the program. So we'll load up these 2 files. To do this, we go to the map tab here and click the load map, find the map file and load it, and do the same with the load collision. Once that we have the 2 of these, all we need to do now is add a heroes graphic to the project. We'll be using this guy right here. His name is Kyo. He carries a sword. He's cool like that, yeah. I know. So, like I mentioned in the last video, your sprite set needs to be made out of 8 directions with the same number of frames for each, sorted in the clockwise order from up to up left. So, what we have here is a frame that's sized 24 pixels in width over 32 pixels in height. This will be our frame size for the entire sprite set. What we have for it is 4 frames of movement, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is then repeated for the next set of 4 that represents the upright animation, which I just haven't made for it. But if you want to use diagonal animations that are separate, you can just put it right here and that'll work. So we have the 4 up, 4 right, 4 right, 4 left, 4 down, and 4 down left, 4 left, and the 4 up left frames. But like you can see here, we have a few more frames beneath this. Like I mentioned again in the last video, any excessive frames to the frames sprite set are frames that you can later use in extra animations with the play animation command inside Phantasya. We'll be getting to this at another time, but for now we'll cover them a bit too. So we have the upper attacking animation, one for the right, left, down, left, and another few frames for shooting stuff. We won't be using them for now, but just that you are aware that you can do this and we're not interrupting with your character's movement. Just make sure that the full animation option in the database is disabled for this. So, like I said, the width is 32 over 24 over 32 with 4 frames. So once we set this, we'll load the sprite right here. Now we can change the animation speed, which we want to be around 15 for this one with 4 frames to look authentic. And this should be enough for it. We can just play with this later if it doesn't fit, but it should be okay. Now, the last thing we want to do is move the starting position that you can find right here, and you can press this button to reset it and just set it anywhere you want on the map. We'll put it right here. This should be everything we need to run the map. So let's save and click the play button. And there we go. The animation works and the map loads up, all collisions intact. But it doesn't really look that good. This map is more designed to be used with a scale 2, so let's try that right now. Scale 2 is found over in the database in the visual settings tab. You can change the screen size to anything you want, or you can use these options right here for scale 1 or scale 2. If you choose scale 1, you'll get all your graphics just in the size you set them and drew them. But in case you want to use scale 2, what this does is take your all your graphics and double their size. See, this looks much better for this kind of game, so that's what we'll be using. Next up, like I mentioned before in the last video, any part of a sprite or a graphic that has the magenta color in it is turned transparent during the game. In this case, since we don't have anything beneath the map, this turns it into black, since that's the natural color of this game screen. But we don't want that, we want something to be there, right? So to do that, we can use the background image. What we'll need to do to use this is go to the database under the image and sound tab, give a name to our new background, and click the head button to locate the file that we want to use. We'll be using this thing right here, and just a little ground of sorts. It's not something very good, I would say, but it's useful for demonstrating right now. So to set it into the map, we'll go here and check it in the Dropbox combo box right here. We'll click play, and as you can see, it's set into the map. But it moves. That's not what we want, right? That's not good at all. Why this does this is matter of the background usage thing. The background is set to stretch your image all across the map and just keep it there. It's good for certain backgrounds, but sometimes it's just not what we really want to use, since we want the ground to stay static to the map and not to the screen. So, to do this, we'll need to use it with the show picture command in one of the events to draw it onto the map. Let's do this right now to show you how it's done. First we'll disable this one and we'll create a new event. Now we'll go to the display and media tab right here and click the show picture command. This is the show picture commands window with all the options we can change for it. We want the background that we set earlier. You'll have the picture list right here. So we choose it and we want to orient it to the map. What this means is that, like we just said, we want the graphic to orient to the map. We want to make it stay static to the map and not move. This is good for objects on the map, in this case background. But you can also orient your graphics to the screen, which is good for GUI and anything you want to show on the map that doesn't move when you move in the map. We want to set it on and put it at the starting position of the map at 0 and 0. So it just varied. It doesn't give you off blank string. So next we have the display level. What this means is where it prints the map. It can either print it above all other events, which will mean that we won't see anything below it right now, which pretty much isn't what we want. Below others mean that it prints it below any other event on the map, but not under the map itself. So what we'll see will be the hero walking on this ground, but we won't see the room that we set up here earlier. What we want to do is use below all, which puts it below all the events on the map as well as the map itself. The last thing we have to do is set the number of frames in the picture, that we only have one, so it doesn't need changing, and keep the animation button unchecked, since you can use pictures that are animated using their frames and speed and loop them, which can be useful at points but not right now. So once we have this, we want to set it to automatic, so once the game starts, the event starts automatically and sets the picture. We don't want to interact, we want it to just be there. This isn't an object in the game. This is one of the ways you can use events, and that is as map rules, as a set of rules for the map. We don't want to interact with it, we don't want anything from it. It's just a set of rules that will be here and help us guide the user through the map. But when we do that, automatic means that every time a frame will enter, the picture will be drawn anew. This could be quite expensive to our CPU usage, so we don't want that, as well as another event that it will have to manage on the screen. So what we can do in order to save this, we only need to set the picture once, right? So after we do that, we can just delete the event. For this we have a new event, a new command that we'll learn right now. Right here, it's the delete event. You can give it either the event's index or give it the index for a variable of a number, but we will use the this pointer that we discussed last time. So what this does so far is print the image on the screen and then delete the event, and that's that. Set automatic. Let's save and play and see how it goes. As you can see now, it's good. It stays on the map just like we set it. But since the background we set was the exact same size as the map, it will just stay here. And we'll see this unnatural ending of the map in black. This isn't good for us either, right? We want to get rid of this. We want the character the map to stop moving once the character reaches the left. We don't want it to keep centered. Luckily, Phantasya supports this as well. Go to the database. Under the visual settings, you have this checkbox. Keep hero centered on map edges. This means that once the hero reaches the edge, it keeps centered, but we don't want that, so we uncheck this. This means that when we reach the edge of the map will push back and the hero will not be centered anymore. Starting up the game again, and as you can see, we're moving as well as the map moving, and we can't see the black parts. So this is it for today, guys. Next time we'll be going through more commands and stuff you can use to ease your game, make it more personalized, and but for now, have a nice one.